Hi, this is a Keycloak tutorial on per application roles and composite roles. In this tutorial, we're going to secure two browser applications and one REST service. We're going to use per application roles to assign permissions to a user. After we demo that, we're going to create a composite role and use that instead to assign permissions to a user. The applications we are securing are the same as the ones as we did in the basic tutorial that is shown in a different screencast. It is a customer portal application and a product portal application which get listings from a back-end REST database service, and all that is secured by a Keycloak server. So to start off this tutorial, we need to go to the Keycloak administration console. So let's do that. Log in as admin. Now if you are running this tutorial after the basics tutorial, you're going to have your demo realm all set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from scratch and we're going to delete the demo realm. To do that, go to the settings, scroll down, click on delete. Okay, so let's start from scratch. We'll add a realm, call it demo. Okay, we created our demo realm. Now we're going to create the applications that we're going to be securing. So the first one we will create is customer portal. We will enable it, specify the admin URL to be customer portal there. Click save. We'll go to roles now. Unlike the first parts of the basics tutorial where we had roles at the realm level, here we're going to assign roles per application. So in the customer portal application here, we're going to click on the roles tab, click add role, and our role name will be customer user. Click save. Okay. We're done with customer portal. Let's create product portal now. Specify the admin URL. Click save. We'll add a product role to the product application, and we'll name this role product user. Click save. We're also going to create a database application. This is different than before. Before, our database service, it used realm level roles, so we didn't need to create an application for it. This time we're going to define a role specifically for this particular service. And it's going to be called DB user. Click save. So now we have all our three applications defined. There's one last thing we have to do. We have to define the scope for the customer portal and product portal applications. Now, if you remember from the basics tutorial, we had to assign realm level roles to the application scope. Here we only have to do this for the database service. Roles defined by the customer portal application are automatically added to the scope of customer portal. The only one we added to the scope was the DB user from the database service application. We have to do the same thing with the product portal as well. Go to scope. And assign DB user from the database application to the scope of the product portal application. Okay, now that we've done that, we need to create a user. So let's do that. Create bburke@redhat.com. We'll enable him. Then we'll go into role mappings. And if you scroll down, there are no realm roles. All our roles are defined at the application level. So let's assign them. We'll assign the customer user one. Assign the product user role from the product portal application, and we'll assign the DB user role from the database service application. One last thing we have to do is we have to set a temporary password for the user, otherwise we won't be able to log in. Click reset password. Okay, now we're ready to actually configure the applications to use these new settings. So to do that, we're going to go back to my favorite IDE and configure these projects. Okay, first let's go to the customer app. I still have leftover work from our last tutorial, so we're going to reuse that work. We got a keycloak.json file we have to change for the customer app, so let's go back to the administration console, customer portal, click on installation, select the Keycloak JSON format, cut and paste it, and add it to this file. Okay, the only thing really different with this keycloak.json file than from the basics tutorial is that the use resource role mappings flag is set to true. This tells the customer app to use roles defined at the resource level that are within the token. So it's going to look for customer portal roles. Previously in the basics tutorial, this particular customer application was looking at realm level roles, so this use resource role mappings flag was set to false. Okay, and next thing we have to do is we have to edit web.xml. We changed our role names for the customer portal app, so we need to modify web.xml to set up those changes. So if you go down to the bottom of web.xml, you'll see the security roles defined for the web application. We need to change this to customer user, and our security constraint we need to change to customer user as well. Click save. And that's it for the customer app. Next, let's do it for the product application. Go create the keycloak.json file. Go to the product portal application. Select keycloak.json, and we'll cut and paste the configuration. And put it in there. Again, we also have to change web.xml to change the security role names that are used by the web application. Remember, if we changed it to product user instead of user role, so we have to change that within the web.xml. And finally, we have to configure the database service as well. Okay, we have to modify the JSON file, so we'll go to database service, go to installation, select keycloak.json, copy this, go here, put that there, specify bearer only because this is only a REST service. You don't have to do that, it just makes this option optimizes the request a little bit. Click save. Go to web.xml for a database service and change the roles we're going to use to DB user. Okay, we should now be all configured. So now let's build the application. We go back to our command window here, and we're in the unconfigured demo directory to Maven clean install. And this builds those applications. Do Maven gbos AS deploy, needs deploy to the application server. Okay, now we're ready to try out the demo. So let's go to Customer Portal. We'll log in with bburk. We have to change our password because we reset it. I'll do that right now. Click Submit, and now we should see the customer listing. Okay. Okay, let's log out, and now we're going to do something differently. We're going to use composite roles to assign permissions to users. Let's go back to the admin console. Composite roles are like a role group. When you create a composite role, you can associate other roles with it. When you assign this composite role to a user or to a scope, all the roles that are associated with that composite role are bound to the user as well, and this happens dynamically. So let's create a composite role, and we'll create this composite role at the realm level. So we're at the realm level here. Go to roles. I'm going to add a role. I'm going to call it composite. Click save. And now I'm going to associate some roles with this composite role. To do that, I click on the composite roles switch here, and you see we have a GUI come up that allows us to associate roles with this composite. We don't have any realm level roles, but we do have application ones. And where we're going to assign customer user to it, product user, and database user. Okay. Go back to roles, and you see we have a composite role named composite, and that is complete. Now let's create a different user. I'll name this user Stian. We'll enable Stian. We'll reset his credentials here. And now let's do role mappings. Now this is going to be a little bit different than bburk. bburk, we assign each individual application role to him. For Stian, we are only going to assign the composite role. We only assign the composite role, but Stian is going to get all the role permissions that we associated with the composite role. So let's log out now, and we will log in as Stian. Change my password, and we will see that Stian is able to see the customer listing. We only assigned one role to Stian, the composite role, but that composite role is associated to all the application roles that we had defined, so Stian automatically gets those permissions. What's interesting, if we log out here, go back to the admin console, admin, go to settings, go to roles, go to composite, and if we take out the product user association here, and now we log in to the product portal. Stian password. You'll see that it is now forbidden for Stian to view it. So we were able to take away that permission for Stian by just modifying the composite role. So composite roles make it a little bit easier for you to organize your roles and assign them to users and to scopes. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial and all my mumbling.